Okay, you can... Hey guys, my name is Vix, and I am about to give you the video that you've all been waiting for! How to make Foxy! Alright guys, this is Foxy. I made him at the end of October last year. I made him for Halloween. He was just a random idea I came up with. I was like, this year for Halloween, I want to be something scary. So I decided to be Foxy because, you know, Five Nights at Freddy's was really big at the time, the second game was about to come out, and I just really wanted to go for something a little bit more spooky than my good old Rika over there, because she's adorable. Foxy was pretty easy to make. I've made a few costumes before, but they didn't really turn out all that great. But Foxy, he was really cheap. He cost me under $100. The materials you can all find at your local fabric store, or Michael's Arts and Crafts store. His ear is currently being real floppy because it broke actually right after I was filming the last bit of my Five Nights at Freddy's 4 videos. So I will actually be fixing that today. I got my handy glue gun all up and ready to go. First, I will tell you how to make the head. Each Foxy from each game is very different from the other. This is Foxy from the first Five Nights at Freddy's, meaning he's not falling apart too much. He is a little bit, but not too much. That's one of the reasons why I chose Foxy, because if I screwed him up, then it wouldn't really have mattered, because he's already falling apart in the game. So if he looks crappy in real life, that's okay, because he looks crappy in the game. Alright, so Foxy isn't even my favorite character. My favorite character is Chico, because she's terrifying. So, the head is constructed out of this green craft foam. I'll kind of show you. Bloop! This stupid stuff. Oh, look at that. That's like not bad at all. Bloop. But it's this green craft foam. You can find it at Joann's. It's kind of pricey, but you don't really need all that much of it for Foxy. Kind of helmet shaped. I kind of put the strips of foam around my head so that I made sure that it was the right size and everything. And then his muzzle is also made out of the same stuff, just formed into a muzzle shape. His jaw was made later. I made the top of the head first. I removed his bottom jaw because it's really easily removable. And here you can see the inside better. Now, I am not really good at this, so this was kind of just thrown together last minute, so don't do exactly what I did, because I'm not like a professional costume maker or anything. I didn't even sew anything. I glued everything, which is like, no. So if you can sew, I would highly suggest sewing instead of gluing, because it'll last longer and it looks nicer, and it won't fall apart in the heat. After I built him out of foam, and glued all the foam together and made the perfect size, I got this red and orange fleece from Joann's. I think I got 2 yards of the red and 1 yard of the orange. He really doesn't call for all that much because it's only the top half of him that is colored. The bottom half is just the metal legs and the shorts. His teeth, these nice, beautiful, sharp teeth, are actually duct tape folded around on itself into a cone shape. They're not very sharp. They are kind of flimsy if you try to squish them, but they're pretty good. I mean, they've stayed together this whole time. I painted them white, and then later I painted some of them gold. But because paint doesn't stick very well to duct tape, it's kind of cracked and crumbled off. But you know, it fits. It matches Foxy's whole aesthetic. So it looks like he's old and falling apart, and you know that's perfect for him. His eyes, this actually flips up. His eyes are made from like a ball pit ball cut in half and painted. The inside, the pupil has a hole in it so that the lights were able to show through, and I'll show you how I made the lights later. And then it's just a piece of felt for the eyelids, and then the eye patch is a piece of cardboard wrapped with felt, and there's actually a piece of a paintbrush in here which gives it the ability to flip up and down. His little hair thingies are just really thin pieces of foam covered in felt or fleece that I just stuck through his head. Same thing with the ears. This one, as you can see, is breaking off, and I'm gonna fix that right now, actually. Glue it like a dumb. Ow! Don't do that. So I just stick the foam right back into the duct tape and let it dry. And it's all dry and all fixed, and his ears are nice and floppy again. Yay, floppy ears! Having floppy ears is great because it looks really funny when he's running down the hallway and his ears are like floppity 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 flop and his jaw's like blah, 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 blah. Foxy's jaw is made pretty much the same way as the head. It's foam covered in fabric with the little teethies glued on. And in order to make the jaw flop around, I decided to make it a separate piece. And I wanted it to dangle, so I was gonna like put string through it and hang it. But then I was like, why string when I can use little wires? Because he's a robot! So I got these like little wires, and I actually had a whole box of them. I don't know what happened to them, but I took these little wires and I just stuck them through the foam in the jaw. And then I stuck them through the foam in the head. The jaw kind of sits here on me. And I can like tuck my chin into it, and it kind of moves when I talk. I'm not doing it correctly right there because I don't have the head on. It's easier that way, but you know. Scene sucks in this thing. If it's possible for you, make better sight. When I first made him, the sight was actually not bad, but since I've been wearing him, like his eyes kind of fallen a few times, and somebody at MagFest actually poked him right in the eye. If you look, the paint around his eye is kind of chipping a little bit because somebody just went like, hey, I want to poke you in your good eye. Bam! Right into the eye. So always make sure that you have somebody with you that can like push those people away and be like, hey, don't touch the cosplayer. I have actually had a kind of awful encounter with somebody once, and I'll link to that right above Foxy's head here, called Foxy and the Magfest Creeper. You should definitely watch it. It really puts things in perspective when you're cosplaying around like, drunk people or at a con late at night or even anywhere. You have to be careful when you're cosplaying and always have somebody with you, especially if you're wearing a mask like this and you have limited mobility and sight and everything. Beneath his eye, there is blackness. I have a mesh in there that's all I see through, this tiny, tiny little space. Now that I have Foxy's jaw back on, I can show you just how easy it is to put this thing on. It just goes whoop, and then I pull the jaw down, like so. Pull its nose down a little bit so I can see, and voila! Foxy with his floppy ears. So what is this stupid looking thing that I'm holding? This was Foxy's original eye light system. Now, I don't have a soldering iron. I made this last minute. I did this like the night before. My boyfriend helped me with it because he's a lot better at this stuff than I am. But due to our limits on materials and experience, this was the best we got. So this was a long wire. There's LEDs here, and a long wire that leads to this. 2 batteries duct taped together. And I would show you it, but the LEDs happened to be janky and falling apart, which made me have to switch to my secondary eye light system. But hopefully we will be fixing this before we make Foxy's Day Out 3, which is coming! But for right now, my current eye light system is these! These are little battery-powered candle things. There's a little switch on the bottom, and you turn them on, and they just kind of do a little flickery thing. So they're pretty nice. They're the right color and everything. I just stick them into Foxy's little eyeballs, literal eyeballs. This is a much better way to do the eye lights if you don't have any experience working with electronics. Because these can just glue right in his eyeballs. And here is a demonstration of what Foxy looks like in the dark with his eyes on. Spooky, spooky. Lift up the eye patch and... Now that I have shown you the head, I'm going to move on to the body piece. I believe the body piece is the stupidest part of this entire costume, and let me tell you why. The body piece is literally just foam slab that wraps around my body and is covered with the same fleece. And it has these little shoulder pieces with the little hair thingies, which I think are totally adorable. The center piece, actually, this part doesn't have any foam. It's just black. As you can see, the black is on the back here. And then the fleece kind of just looks all ripped up and stuff. I was gonna put like a metal-looking thing in the middle here to look like his animatronic endoskeleton. In Foxy's Day Out 2, I have video from inside his stomach, videotaping people's reactions. But his body piece just goes on. One arm, other arm. It's attached with Velcro. If it's easier for you to use a zipper, that would be cool too. And I totally would sew this instead of gluing this because I'm a dummy and this is not wanting to work right now. Ta-da! Little shoulder things. It's warm. You'll sweat all over it. I used to have little wires poking through the stomach, but they kind of all fell out because I wear it a lot. Now here's Foxy's arm pieces. They're just like the body piece. They're little foam things with fabric wrapped around them and like holes in them and stuff, and they just go on. First, top arm is little. Bottom arm is longer. And ta-da! It looks like you have an animatronic arm. La 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 la. Unless you're Springtrap, you don't really want to show off your human. So I wear this underneath Foxy's body pieces because it's gray. It's like the color of an endoskeleton, or you could wear a black one. And it's long sleeves, and it has a tall neck. So I would highly suggest getting a turtleneck so that you can cover up your neck, because that's like the hardest part to cover up in costumes like this. If Foxy was fully covered like Bonnie or Freddy or Chica, that would be a lot easier. I could just, you know, do the same thing for the legs that I did with the arms. But Foxy's not so simple. Or maybe he is! I just have these gray stockings, and you can't really see it very well now because I don't have them on, but I just painted metal-looking stuff on the legs, and it's that easy. Just these gray, tight, metal legs. I was actually going to make Foxy's pants similar to how I made the rest of his body, with the foam and the fabric, but I ran out of time for that. So I just went to the store and found some brown pants, and I cut them up so that they look like Foxy's pirate shorts. I remade his hook. Originally his hook was just foam covered in duct tape, but now it's a nice piece of cardboard covered in felt. Not much better, but it looks better. His actual piece that I put my hand in is just foam horribly, horribly wrapped in felt. I'm sure you could do a much better job than I would. It works pretty well. Stays on there, the hook is kind of floppy, so it's kind of funny. His hand, his all metal hand, is just a normal gray winter glove covered in pieces that I made out of cardboard, which I then covered in duct tape and then painted to look like his metal bits. La, 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 la. While the body piece is probably the most horribly made part of this costume, the feet are probably the worst, most uncomfortable part of the costume. The bottom of them is the bottom of a flip-flop, and then I built the shape up with foam, same foam, and then I covered it in felt and in duct tape around the bottom. Now they're not waterproof, so if it was you making it, I'd say build around an actual shoe, because that would hold the form a lot better, it would be more comfortable, and probably a little bit more waterproof than this. Because these fall off really easily, they're falling apart in general, and they look kind of goofy on the actual costume. But they work for now. Maybe I'll remake them, I don't know, but that's the feet. They're probably also the hardest part of the costume to make, because you have to make them durable enough to last lots of wear and tear. Alright guys, thank you for watching. I am so glad that you guys enjoy my costumes so much, that so many people have been asking for me to make this tutorial. I did one a while ago that was just with pictures, but it really wasn't that great, and it didn't show how to make the legs or the feet or the hands or anything. So this was really fun to make. Thank you to my sister who's behind the camera doing all of the clicking and starting and stopping of the camera. If you guys do decide to make a costume of Foxy based off of this tutorial, or make a costume of any of the other characters based off of this tutorial by changing up a few things, I would love to see them. Please send them to me. I really want to see how well you guys can pull this off. My email is on my page. You can also send it to my Twitter or my Instagram or my Vine. They're all down in the description. So please guys, I want to see your work. I want to see a lot more Five Nights at Freddy's cosplays that are actually the full character and not just a human representation, because we could totally scare the pants off of some people. Make sure to check out Foxy's Day Out 1, 2, and 3, which is going to be coming out very soon. And please also check out my Five Nights at Freddy's 4 Let's Plays. The links for all of those will be down in the description. If you follow my Vine, you will see more of Foxy that won't be posted in the videos. I will also be having more videos of Rika, my actual persona. There'll be more videos of her coming out soon. Alright guys, thank you once again. I hope to see you guys coming back and subscribing and liking my stuff and sharing it around. Please share this tutorial so that other people can see how it's done. Thank you to Cawthon for making this fantastic and super fun and terrifying series of games. Make sure to check Pirate's Cove. Make sure to shine the light down the hallway. Make sure to not let your air vents run out of air. And make sure to check your closets before you go to bed.
Why am I so bad at doing this kind of stuff?
Okay, this is the end of the video. Goodbye! Go play Five Nights at Freddy's. Support this awesome game. Go buy merchandise.
Blech.